Welcome back, friends. G2 Esports versus Heroic, our match of the day, about to begin. And it's a good thing you're joining us here on the analyst desk because I lied. The winner of this game doesn't actually go to Berlin. Only if Heroic win, no matter the situation, will they qualify. But G2 and how they win impacts how maybe BDS can make it through. It's our last game of the day. But those are details we'll discuss in just a second. Welcome back. I'm Medic. It's Fresh and Fabian. And Fresh, how about you explain to the viewers exactly how it goes?
I don't just have to explain it, Milosh. I have a graphic. And if production already, that graphic's getting pulled up right now. And there it is.
Every time he says that, I feel he's just going to give me a little slap like that.
Exactly. So, this graphic basically shows along the top G2 and Heroic's results, and along down the bottom, or down the left-hand side, BDS and Team Secret's results. Now, I want to draw your eyes to the full left-hand column. If G2 win 7-0 or 7-1, they will 100% be confirmed for the major. I want to take your eyes to the right-hand side. If there is overtime or Heroic win in regulation, Heroic will be confirmed. If G2 therefore win by a scoreline of 7-2 to 7-5, we will have to wait until Game 5 to determine whether it will be G2 or BDS to the major. It's a little bit complicated, but I'm sure the casters will keep you informed during the game as well.
Oh, yeah.
Essentially, it's still G2 or Heroic in most scenarios in terms of this being a straight shootout.
Now, if this game decides the final spot for the major, our last game of the day will be a 7-man cast, so wait up for that.
Yeah, including the observers.
Mm-hmm. Why not? We'll have fun. Nobody will be observing. We'll just put somebody. Bertrand, are you listening? You can observe at this point. It's been a few years. Fabian, let's talk about this game. First up, Heroic. Your thoughts on the team?
I mean, we've been speaking about them, and they've currently kind of hit a little bit of a slump and been struggling a little bit, but they kind of have the total package. When we're looking at them as a team, they did struggle quite heavily against Rogue. I don't know what was the exact reason for it, but it looked like it was a bit of nerves there. But when we're looking at Heroic, they kind of have just good anti-fraggers, great shot callers in both Uno and Gorgona, and then they have a really solid player that can really do everything in Grizzly. So for me, Heroic is a total package that just has very good basics. That's where I think that they stand out the absolute most in Europe. They're just better than every other team in this league on the basics. They might be a little bit slow mid-round, and they might not have the best adaptations all the time, but I think they look like a solid team.
The one thing that I like about Heroic is they've got these kind of they work in teams of 2. So it's usually something like Benjaruno, Sloth and Grizzly, and Gorgona on his own. So there's 2 teams of 2 and a single person, but they all achieve the same objective together all of the time, and it's usually effective.
On G2, the other side, Fresh. This team has come back game after game. They make it. They can get through.
They can, and 2-3 weeks ago, it was a 5% chance, and they've just kept winning. They won 7-0. They won 7-2, was it, against Pones? They've just kept winning. 7-3 against Secret. They've put themselves in a position that nobody expected G2 to be in.
Jack,
5%, that means that there's a chance.
Yes.
do you think that G2 is the best team in the world?
No.
No.
I think so. No.
You think so?
No.
I mean, look,
No.
what they have exhibited is they exhibited a change where Ben, i.e. Citizen, took much more of a leadership role, a talking role, a vocal role within the team, and there's been a very clear difference in their performance after that happened, and the performance has increased.
You can clearly see it on the face cams as well, that there's a change in responsibility taking and, well, who's in charge. They're just playing much better as a group. They're actually doing things together, which the first, 5 Playdays, it didn't look like they knew that they had teammates in their team.
That's actually a very good way to put it. Our map then for this series. One will be left to decide it all, and that'll be Chalet in this one. Bank taken away by Heroic. Let's start on defense with the attack for G2. Our lobbies pretty much said, gentlemen, keep it quick.
I felt that G2 had the better map pool overall, i.e. G2's better maps are ones that Heroic didn't like. I felt like Chalet was going to be a good middle map for both teams. G2 have won 7-0, 7-2 the last 2 times they've played it. They've been comfortable playing it, and they've looked good on it.
I've actually spoken to some of the players here a bit on G2, and they have said that Chalet is their absolute best map.
Oh.
And that says a lot. G2 have it all in their hands now, really. There's no excuse for them not to win.
All right, let's see how this goes. It cannot get any more exciting than this is my, there you go, Prage kind of moment. Thank you very much, Fabian and Fresh. Let's toss it to our casters. Ace and Hap, enjoy.
Thank you very much, Milos. We are ready to go. Oh, it's another exciting game. We've just been left on the edge of our seats by M&M. We might just be pushed right off them by G2 and Heroic now.
It is definitely going to be the match of the stage, potentially, question mark. I mean, 3 teams are fighting for a major spot. It is G2, Heroic, and BDS. Now, if you said that at the start of the stage, no one would have believed you. People would have been like, no way, BDS would be in, Heroic would be in by now. But no, none of them are currently confirmed. Heroic definitely has the best papers because they can count down, just like M&M did, 6 rounds. However, if G2 are able to win, I think that's the end of it for Heroic. I'm just quickly gonna find a round differential.
Yes,
to make sure.
it will be because they'll go ahead of them on round differential.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
There's 2 rounds in it at the minute, but they have
+6.
to. If it's 7-5, they have to.
Yeah, and then overtime win is not allowed. So 7-5 will push Heroic down by 2 and G2 up by 2. So a win, no matter what, is going to push Heroic out of that current top 4 position and will eliminate them from the major. And then we wait until BDS's game to see whether or not they can, well, kick G2 out after that. Either way, the Nuck, again, banned for the 3rd time today. They're not allowed to see any sunlight today, so we'll continue that trend. No matter what my also gone.
Not being kept under lock and key at the minute, or should I say knock and key?
Hey,
Here he is. Valkyrie's going to be our final ban. That's the 2nd defender taken out, and that will round things out for us. You know what, Hap? There's only one thing left to do, and that's to watch G2 and Heroic battle it out for a spot of the major. Heroic, as you've said, they sit in the same position that M&M did. 6 rounds is all they need. That'll guarantee them. That will sew things up for a UL, and we will have our 4 teams. We will be done and dusted. But if EUL is anything like I've come to know it, I've got a feeling there could be a twist in the tail.
it could definitely be, and I know we just said it's just like M&M, except for it's not. If G2 win this, they will be the ones potentially taking that spot away, right?
It's where M&M could wait and look at other results, G2 get the win here, and Heroic, they are potentially done for.
And as G2 sitting into that 4th position, waiting for BDS's game against Secret, seeing if the round differential will be the differentiator, or if Secret are pulling a win out of the hat. Now, I'm going to say again, Tim, because Milos said I was very excited for it. There's another Centurion in the making in this game.
We love them.
You can take a guess. And of any of these players?
I'd say Citizen or Gorgona.
No, it's actually neither of
Benja.
those. It's Benja indeed. 94 kills.
Too many good players.
There is definitely a lot of good players.
6 kills for Benja. We'll keep an eye on that then. It's interesting for G2. You know, this season, there was a point in this season, you know, believe it or not, that G2 had, I think, less than a 5% chance of making it to the major. And they now find themselves sat on, I think it's about 40%. You know, that has been, we can't undervalue the comeback of G2 over the last couple of weeks and what they've managed to achieve in just being in a position to fight on the last day.
I mean, I still remember the 0-3 came through and the famous quote of Fabian Halston, I think it is. He's flipping me off again.
I'm pretty sure I remember that.
Yeah, it's I dye my hair pink if G2 qualify for the major.
Well,
don't worry, Bartosz has it, so it's been
already been
solidified.
This is it. You can't say anything like that on broadcast without it coming back to bite you. I think it was at that point that G2 was secured to qualify.
Yeah,
for
definitely.
the major.
So, Brado gets the first. That's Sloth picked up on the flank punch there through that main door. Benja waiting heavily into the pantry here, hoping to go for a bit of a pickup. He's being challenged from above, from the window. The jump in came through. He has no clue. He might lose his life right here if he's not patient enough. Pings are coming through from Gorgona, but Doki finds him. And that is a double entry for G2.
G2 managed to get themselves 5 versus 3. Good advantage here. Doki knows that there's one on the library stairs. Going to ping him out and then look to continue pushing forward. I think he hears the footsteps, just giving him the telltale sign that the player had moved away. I believe it was the pulse of Gorgona. Doki is going to be able to head up towards the top floor now. They're attacking onto Master and Office, of course. G2 are going well here. They've got control of library and mezzanine. They can start thinking about breaching the wall at their leisure. Prano is going to need to get himself up there in order to do that. But with a minute left to go, Gorgona could be the big problem here. They know that he's downstairs somewhere. Doki chased him off down there. He's going to go for the challenge potentially. Nitro goes out. It's too far away. Doesn't do the job, and Doki's been juiced back up to full here. Gorgona needs to get himself moving and get himself somewhere safe.
Not quite sure what happened there. Virtue able to find another kill. Prano now going down for that plant. 45 seconds soon to be on the board, but Grizzly's coming in for a bit of a flank. Is it too late? No, yes it is. Gets that plant denied, and with that, it's going to be Heroic that will stop that from happening now. A trade comes in though. Virtue will find him. Gorgona, the last man standing, has the opportunity to rotate back up again, but the plant could be coming down. A man on the main stairs. Doki will find that kill. G2 with the first round, with just a quick denial of that plant from Trudy coming down, but nothing to worry about as of yet.
G2 are on the road then. G2, of course, looking for as good a win as they can get is the best way that I can put it for this one. G2 just want to get the best round differential possible at this point in time. 7-0 or 7-1. And I'm not saying that's how it's going to be. Don't worry, I'm not getting carried. Oh, look
look at that.
Production absolutely looking after me here. 7-0 or 7-1 will 100% qualify them. There is at that point nothing that BDS can do. Anything above that, and you see the scaling percentages there. No chance if they don't get a win. So the M&M things really shifting things for G2. Like I said, coming into today, I think they were about 40% when M&M was still in the consideration. Now they've locked down that spot. That's sorted, and it's all up to the situation we find inside of the match here. Then we can see just how it looks for G2. They're going to be going up to the top floor, but not for the site. This time they're just trying to hold on to map control as they are this time Heroic defending dining and kitchen. It's going to be much the same as last time around. They're going to try and prevent that library-sided push coming in from G2, who are once again moving quickly in that direction.
Citizen and Doki quite close, both looking to take some pressure down onto the library side. Benja is quite close though, looking through some of these windows that are being opened up. He's quite close to a hatch and he can drop, and will do so exactly. As the E1D pops off, will be spotted by the drone, and thus as well by the E1D as he rotates around, takes out two of these drones on his way down towards that basement floor, but G2 seem to be aware. Grenades are being pulled though, won't be able to reach anything as he's long gone. Now it's just going to be a matter of locking down these staircases, making sure he has no way back up.
That's exactly it. It should be fairly easy now for G2 to really prevent Benja from getting back into the mix of things. Benja is taking his only safe option, really, which is West Main Stairs, get himself back to site and at least try to have an impact from there. Citizen now established downstairs in bar. G2 looking reasonably good at the minute. They've still got Piano to clear out, and they need to get themselves into Office and Master. They're going to want to at least prevent Heroic being able to use those vertical angles, if not be able to control them themselves. They get the breach off. So good progress so far from G2.
E1D pops a keeper barrier tossed in as well as Flashbang's coming around the corner. That means Gorgona needs to be careful. He goes aggressive, gets the kill to Elamaus. He's fully blind, finds himself back inside as well. An entry frag as he's almost losing his life. I believe that is from below, but lives for now. Holding aggressive onto that breach. They should be aware of Citizen trying to go for a bit of a pre-fire with the LMG. It's Doki eventually that will find a kill, hoping to find more up on that top floor because there's still two players out there from Heroic, and we find ourselves in a 4-on-4. Citizen drops as Benja comes in for a bit of a flank, possibly. We'll be shutting him down as Doki responds as well.
Doki's going big on the top floor. We saw him have some impactful kills in the last round, and that looks like G2 have all but scared Heroic away from the top floor now. They've got the Azami of Grizzly just dropping deep. He will try to hold on from Solarium more than likely, but G2 have got everything that they need now to take top floor control. The problem that they don't really have solved is time. 50 seconds off to go. They need to get access into site. They need to think about the potential of putting that diffuser down. Doki is looking to get aggressive here. I don't think he knows that Grizzly is just on the other side of the soft wall. They know that he's somewhere inside a bathroom. He's going to be chased out here, but he's aware of Doki's presence. Over the balcony he goes, and that is top floor control for G2. Still work to be done though.
Benja retaking that top floor will be shut down. 25 seconds. One is hiding inside of Trophy. It's Grizzly in that spot where we saw Kendra have some great trigger discipline earlier, and it doesn't get spotted out, but a Gemini replicated this time. A move is on, and Grizzly will be repositioning himself. Uno is up on the West Main Stairs as well. They can play this on contact. 9 seconds left. A breach will be coming through. Oh, that smoke is actually going to be hurting his teammate there. Doki is going to be able to shut it down for now. At least the cover might be there. The plant is on. 45 seconds, but the injury is there. Prano, you need to clutch this. There is the frag eventually, though. Uno locks it off, but after he basically killed his own teammate.
A little bit of a missed opportunity for Dorky, you got to feel there. Gets the more difficult of the 2 kills onto Grizzly, who he wasn't sure of his location, and then just loses the straight gunfight with the man that he knows is on West Main Stairs. But Dorky, of course, having taken a little bit of damage along the way, and it just wasn't to be the round for G2. Heroic leveled things up 1-1, and I get the feeling this is going to be a close contest throughout.
We have to say, though, the only reason why Heroic was into that round was Benja being able to pick up 2 kills on that flank. 2 impactful players as well, Virtue and Citizen, both taken out. Him being able to sneak away from that first initial spot, going down towards the basement and having the patience to wait for, you know, coming back up and strike the way he did, is what allowed Heroic to be in that round. Is what allowed Heroic to eventually let it come down to a 2-on-2 situation. But you cannot rely on that. You cannot rely on that one player being able to make that strike time and time again. So they need to make sure that other members are starting to step up in that early round as well. Of course, great round from Uno, able to pick up those 2 kills eventually just in time as well before Prano came off that diffuser. But we cannot forget about that smoke canister that also could have almost cost them the round that was tossed earlier.
Certainly could have done. 5 versus 5. Action phase is underway. 15 seconds left to go. Sorry, not left to go. 15 seconds has gone, and we still see the setup is coming in from Heroic. They're looking to lock down Mezzanine here. They are defending all the way down in the basement this time, and they're going to have a presence all the way up on the top floor. So this defense really screams time wasting to me. You want to burn as much time as possible and prevent G2 from getting things locked down. Historically, we've seen the push be the bottom of West Main Stairs trench, get the walls open, get in and get the diffuser down. Defenders have had to get creative to prevent that being possible and to stop that happening, and this is what we're seeing. We're seeing extensions into the map. We're seeing players play on trench wall sometimes with a rotation there, extending out behind a shield. We're seeing the West Main wall opened up to give an angle out there onto Big Garage, and that is a lot of the ways that Heroic are looking to try and deal with this.
Currently 2 players inside, 1 behind the dining table, which doesn't get picked up. Sloth with a very important first kill, drops down towards the site. They have the man advantage here on Heroic and will be trying to utilize that. But you cannot forget, still 2 players on top floor, and Sloth trying to rotate back up on the blue stairs as well, is leaving Uno and Gorgona basically in an effective 2-on-4 if G2 would decide to just completely rotate around and strike this site directly.
The thing that G2, I was just going to say, the thing that G2 had particularly got going for them was the fact that Virtue was inside of Office on the book and able to hold down Dining from above, able to use the hatch, but as soon as he was killed, the attack really started to lose its teeth. Sloth manages to find Alamo, 4v2 now for Heroic, and their job is done out in the map, and this is what I was saying about that basement defense. Really stretch teams, get out in the map and make them chase you, make them lose lives and burn utility. Right now, G2 are down to 2 attackers. It's still possible, absolutely, but it's not going to be easy in this 2v4.
I have to say, good use of the Kiba barrier there, basically forming as a bit of a distraction, allowing a second player to come up on those blue stairs, find that kill to the player down in the hallway. Now Citizen, all he can do is just try and face clear it to get away with Prano with 35 seconds left on that clock. See if anybody is still out here, and they will find out. No one is, and that means time has been wasted. Now needing to descend down these blue stairs, hope that they can form a bit of an impact. They will be quite limited in what they can do, especially with the Keeper barrier out there. Destroying that will give away their position where they want to come from, as C4 will take out Prano as well. There's just going to be a 1-on-4 situation for Citizen, which will not last. Heroic pick up yet another round. They are in the lead now in a 1-on-2, and that means 4 more rounds, and they will be going to Berlin.
Good round from Heroic there. I like that defense of Wine. Just really holding it down, holding down the entire map, really, Heroic there, and just winning gunfights ultimately. You know, all the way from Sloth with his entry onto Doki, and then just down the line, one after another. G2 really struggling to get themselves established. They're going to be looking for at least another 2 rounds here on the attack, and time is ticking away for them to do it. You know, we're on round 4 now. Heroic, they're going to Bar and Gaming. They're happy to try every site on this map, and this is going to be another one of those hard fights over Library. I expect to see somebody at the top of Library stairs, somebody mezzanine, potentially somebody in Library or Library box itself, and they are going to try to hold on to this.
No Heartbreacher currently on the board for G2. And Heartbreacher we often see here is the Maverick, especially for this site. You just make that small line aside into the pantry wall that goes towards the main stairs, and suddenly it's unplayable. Suddenly there is that little bit of a pixel that renders the supply line useless and forces the players to be a bit more aggressive. Usually they do that behind the bomb chassis. Then a grenade comes through, you secure yourself a kill, and you don't really have to deal with that player out there anymore. That shotgun shell almost took care of some of the ADSs that were out there onto the fireplace balcony. But Benja looking to go aggressive, and that is a repel noise he hears.
Ben's just going to be, he's certainly thinking about it, isn't he? He's going to hold on to this office door aggressively. We can see the twitch on the rappel just out ahead of us. Alamau is going to come onto the balcony. There's an opportunity for Benji here. He goes to have a look around the corner, doesn't quite extend far enough. Just playing it cautiously there, but Alamau decides if somebody's going to be peeking that door, I'm not going to be pushing that door. Gets himself out of dodge. Doki is chasing, manages to almost catch Benji there, but with the skin of his teeth, he manages to escape and survive.
Also not able to chase due to the Surya laser gate out there, so needs to burn that first before they can start pushing utility down again. Hatches are being opened up as well to put a little bit of pressure down onto defenders that are taking place onto that first floor. I like these ankle holes though, made by the side of Heroic, will allow them to challenge those inside of the office if they do decide to play for some verticality here, which is exactly what Virtue is tasked to do. Now, G2, they missed the first opportunity to get the kill onto Benja, now need to regroup, need to reformulate the attack. They could either go for a direct clear up onto that top floor, which is currently occupied by 3 of these members, or see if they can do something else, more aggressively, as Doki finds Uno.
Good start for Doki there, managing to find himself not a freebie with the nade, but I often refer to that as sort of a danger-free kill. You're getting the explosives in there, it's not a direct gunfight, not a direct challenge, and that's exactly what G2 needed just to get themselves going, and it's Uno taken down, which might not be ideal for G2. We know that he's been IGLing, you know, acting as that leader for Heroic, so by his hands being off the keyboard, it's not always the end of the world because he can focus on what is happening in and around the map and just guide his players as to exactly where they need to be. We've still got 2 trying to hold on to Library here for Heroic, and they're doing a great job of it. 54 seconds left to go, and G2 still not with everybody inside of the map.
Gonna try and go for a long toss and a grenade here. Virtue, and no one is on top of the mezzanines there, so they need to try and get rid of Sloth. 2 ADSs, however, in his position. I believe Benja has gone unspotted so far, so he could be the big difference maker here for Heroic if they do manage to clear out Sloth eventually. Some verticality coming through. The Shadow giving it away there for Sloth. Might receive a bit of a push through the backside now. Indeed, he does. Citizen comes in, just cleans up, finds Benja as well, and now it's going to be a 2-on-5 situation with 20 seconds left on the clock. And only Grizzly still standing.
Big play from Citizen there, perfectly timed. Manages to get himself a triple in the round. Doki with the final kill, and that is going to level things up at 2-2 as G2 managed to take a successful attack onto Bar and Gaming. And I just love the teamwork that we saw there between Alamau and Citizen. Alamau knew that he was going into a losing battle with Sloth, but just the trust and confidence that he had that Citizen would be in the right position to deal with that threat before he died. Absolutely wonderful. G2 take round 4, 2-2.
I was going to say Benja really needed to take care of the Library there at that given moment in time, but pressure coming out from different angles as well basically made it impossible for him to divide his attention. And we find ourselves at that 2-2. You just said it. 4 rounds for Heroic, 5 for G2 to find himself secured. Heroic secured, G2 not really, but in a good position to be secured, to put it up like that. Because BDS is still playing Secret. That game could still matter, depending on the amount of rounds we have. And I just heard Milos say that if this game confirms whoever goes to the Major, we have a 7-way cast, which I don't know how we're going to do it, but Bruto said, yes, we'll observe for you guys. So I think
who knows what that's going to look like. I'm sure Bruno will do a stellar job. It's more the cast that concerns me. But looking at the situation here, 2-2. So the best that G2 can win here is 7-2. If G2 wins 7-2, BDS would need a 7-0 victory. That's as it stands at the minute. Yeah. Obviously, we will keep you updated as things develop, as this one continues. But right now, G2 need to just be getting some rounds under the belt. Don't worry about Berlin. Don't worry about, you know, everything that's going to happen in the future. It's just got to be round 5. It's got to be dining and kitchen. It's got to be, how do we win this?
Still funny though, at some point they had signed themselves off of making it to the major, and yeah, here they find themselves in an important game, maybe the most important game of the entire stage. The Citizen here jumping over the ledge is going to be going on a bit of a drone tour again, I'd say. Smashes that phase, he's done so before. Benja still out down below though. They need to get some drones out. I'm not quite sure if Doki just spotted them. A pre-fire comes in and there it is. Citizen will find him. An entry kill for G2. Heals himself up by 20 HP instantly. But that's a very important kill because remember what I said after Heroic won that round? It was because Benja went on a massive flank, managed to get 2 kills and allowed the rest of Heroic to continue fighting. Taking out Benja, the one person that continues to flank every single game this early on, really allows G2 to focus purely on the sides, which is something they're quite good at.
Next step for G2 is clearing Office and Piano. They've got Sloth, they've got Gorgona. Gorgona is done for. A Citizen gets a beautiful nade up through the wall there, just finding his man's feet, taking them off his legs and giving G2 a serious advantage. 5 versus 3 now. Grizzly and Sloth on the top floor trying to hold on. The push is coming and the pressure is mounting.
Grenade comes through, but will be caught off by the ADS, but that doesn't catch any bullets. Doki will confirm him on an absolute screamer so far. 8 kills. He's definitely stepping up. Prana now going for a plant. The cover is out here from above, but Doki does not know someone was still out there. The hatch will be retaken, but the plant does go down. 40 seconds and counting at this moment in time. Sloth will be able to find one. So back to a 3-on-1 standing. Uno has been injured, so Sloth, he needs to go for a bit of a retake here, and will be on the back of that side. Instantly swung on, though, by Citizen. Finds that last kill. And with that, G2 leading. Fabian, knowing his hair will go pink at some point if this continues.
The sweat factor is mounting on the other side.
I don't know, like sometimes he's sitting with his hands in his hair. It's like, oh no, my poor hair. And at the other times, like, I like what I'm seeing from these two teams.
Imagine Fabian with pink hair.
Roller coaster of emotions.
Fresh with blue hair. What a pair.
That would be so amazing to see, just next to each
It really would, wouldn't it? It'd be something special. We go on then. We're going to go to Heroic's final defensive round now. It's round 6 down in the basement. I commented on, how much I liked their defense last time around. I think Heroic are going for something similar here, and that is just spread out all over the map. Prevent G2 from just being able to simply focus on those 2 walls that we've seen attacking teams do time and time and time again. Gorgona opening the trophy hatch there, always another good one, because you've got a situation where if G2 are playing onto West Main Wall, they've got to be careful of that flank behind them potentially. We'll see when the lineup comes along whether they've got any claymores, any utility to deal with the flank like that, but they do not. So again, a nice little play, and as long as Heroic are out in the map, it's something G2 need to consider.
G2 3 rounds on the attack, looking for 4. Bit of a pocket coming through. I mean, to see the Ying out there on Doki. With a Warden on the board for Uno, might be able to cancel that one out completely. So I'll be wondering how that will play into one another. Mirror is set up above, but no one really there to play them currently, so wondering if those stick around. Is that a Nitro pool? Yes, that is a Nitro pool. Won't reach anything. Aren't you lucky there? He actually.
I feel like Doki just got out of the way there, and it's like I'm just moving. I don't even have time to say anything here, and Virtue nearly moves into
Virtue's like, yeah, let me just get right in front of it.
That's why Doki was moving so quick.
Didn't take any damage, luckily for him, though. Wanted to quickly throw a grenade right after it. Unfortunately, didn't catch any, but that does mean they have this little part of the map confirmed and controlled right now, as the rest of G2 is starting to sweep around towards the actual... Oh, Doki.
Yellow ping. Beautiful.
Yeah, yellow ping headshot onto Uno. Still one person behind the dining table, though. That's where they lost alive earlier on. Grizzly will find Virtue. That is going to be the drop, and again, not caught off by Doki this time.
Doesn't matter too much. The fact is that they've got the hatch. That's the important bit, but they need to beware of Grizzly above. He's in a position where he could really play spoiler here. You got Benja up there as well, so just having Doki in and having that hatch isn't quite enough just yet. You've got to deal with the rest of the roamers, and then you can think about potentially getting those walls open and dealt with. Don't forget, I mentioned that trophy-sided hatch that could be dropped by Benja or Grizzly, so just cutting off the staircases won't be enough for G2.
Yes, but at the same time, if only they keep somewhat control of that hatch, make sure no one can really use it on the defenders, a plant could be on the cards right here, especially with these openings that are currently being made. Gorgona digs himself in right behind a pillar with an opportunity of potentially going with a nitro. Sloth runs out. Is he going to be called up? That's a big question. Somehow makes it back into the side, but Citizen will find him.
Great play from G2 there. Citizen able to catch the man. Sloth was a little bit unlucky with the time in there. G2 have got what they need really to get a plant down here, but a big play from Gorgono could be a hero moment. Alamau, he's trying to hold on above. He takes the challenge with Grizzly, who takes a lot of damage, but it's not going to be easy for Prano to get the diffuser down. He's actually run deep into an alternative location here. Alamau, he's going to get a drone out to watch those west main stairs just really quickly. Flips it around so they can see what they need. This is big brain from G2. Beautiful movement from Prano to go for the alternative plant spot. And Heroic, they were able to retake the dining hatch, but it just didn't matter because the diffuser wasn't going down there. Heroic, G2 managed to take round 6, 4-2.
A perfect call made there to go for the rotation. Alamau realizing, hey, I got someone on top. Also heard the drop through the Solarium there on the back. Managed to even put a little bit of damage down onto Benja, but called out 2 above. We need to rotate. We cannot stay here. Let's go deep. Let's go behind the bends and make sure we dig it in deep there. And that's exactly what they did. Good call by G2.
Well played, and it puts them onto the defence. They've got themselves up to 4-2. Heroic, as a reminder, if we look at this, obviously a lot of the focus has been what can G2 do to get to the major, but it's super simple for Heroic. 1 point or more, simple as that. They need 4 rounds, they need to match or better what G2 have just done to them on the attack.
I'm just wondering, what is the 1% on that 7-2? Is that 7-0 from BDS?
Yeah. 7-2 from G2 they can still drop the major spot if BDS gets 7-0 against Team Secret.
That's the 1%. It wouldn't be the first time we saw that kind of stuff happen.
Absolutely not.
So G2, they'll be more than happy to lock this up with a 7-2 and hope for the best on the BDS Secret game. Now they're on the defense themselves, and they decided to start off on the top floor. There's going to be 3 ADSs, 2 Surya laser gates here to defend up against the Repel to come out from the side. Now, Sloth playing from below could be trying to get some stuff done with these grenades. Often we do see some players going down into the garage as well to open up a vertical hole above below these stairs so they can at least lock them out, lock those players out from 2 different angles. That's not happening now though. They don't have a buck, so they can't really go for it that way. So instead they need to be getting rid of them with a grenade. They'll do that with some Excaras to get rid of those Surya laser gates. Then the flashbangs come in to waste these ADSs, and after that the grenade should follow. Virtue does kind of have to leave though, because there comes the grenade, somehow makes it out alive and back into the same set of stairs. The ADSs will soon be recharging again, and as Elamau is just playing around right here, hoping to find a head, he could find the entry and does so as well. Grizzly, you should not die to a man walking into the middle of the side like that.
Alamau and Virtue have absolutely no right to do what they have just done to Heroic. Virtue somehow slippery on the trophy stairs, able to just avoid the aggression, use some fancy footwork, some dazzling toes to get himself around the danger, and then Alamau ripping the man off the rappel. Doki with a direct trade onto Gorgona, headshots in both directions, and this one is becoming fiercely fought on Chalet. 4 versus 3 at the halfway point. Virtue, he manages to get Slop up Benja. He finds Citizen on a spray down through a soft wall. 3v2, and the trades just keep on coming, Hap.
Definitely do. Benja only 2 kills away from becoming a Centurion as well here in the European League. Hasn't dropped any kills from the first 2 rounds onwards to this one. So he hasn't really been too impactful over the last couple of rounds, last 4 rounds. He's hoping to change that now. Has no grenades left in pocket, just an extra adrenaline surge they can use. And if you look at Uno, also nothing in pocket, just his Type 89 and potential bearing to work with.
3 versus 2. 45 seconds left to go. G2 looking good on their first defense, but Heroic looking to have something to say about it. Benja push it up, clearing utility with the Finker boost himself, ready to go. They're going to have the Excaros pellets just opening the wall as well. G2 trying to hold on at this point. What a damage taken. If only the Jaeger would have stood up, it could have been a kill, but it was Alamau anyway. Virtue onto Uno, and that is going to be G2 taking another round. It's 5-2, and the dream is well and truly alive for G2. G2 in week 1, week 2, week 3, even up to week 5. G2 could not have dreamt of being in a position to potentially catch themselves a major spot. That right now is what they are staring down the barrel of. It will not be guaranteed until BDS play, but the quicker G2 can win this, the greater their chances.
I mean, all we can say is G2 was really always the closest team to be in Berlin because they are literally 300 meters away from the venue, Tim.
Oh, they're there. They're ready.
They're there already. It's just written in the stars that they would be taking it. And you know what? What a story it would be from being down 0-3, them themselves not really thinking about that major at that moment in time anymore, realizing that that chance, that ship has potentially sailed, to right now being 2 rounds away from putting yourself into a 99% chance.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, Hap. It is
a turnaround.
It is one of the great turnarounds in competitive Siege history for my money. If G2 actually pull this off and get to the major, it is one of the great turnarounds. We've had some big games that have been turned around, you know, none less than Penta versus EG. We all remember that one. But
Alamo had no right here.
absolutely no right. Absolutely no right up. You know, we all remember we've had those big games that have been turned around, but in terms of an entire stage, G2 making the major is just not something that was even in the playbook or the script after week 3 or 4.
Definitely not. And yet they find themselves here in this position right now.
Dare to dream. Dare to dream.
Dare to dream.
Dare
I
to
mean,
dream.
everything is possible if you just put your mind to it, except for maybe flying is just a mere human being without any actual support.
And whoever said that, you know, G2 fans, they've been hitting the copium. They've been hitting the copium through the stage.
definitely did.
Who said that it never worked?
You know, actually, I wanted to take a bet with the G2 social media team when they were like, oh, it's just free from here on, when they were 0-3. And I was like, okay, want to make a bet? And they said, no, we don't want to. So they missed an opportunity there. Unfortunate for them. If they make it, that is, of course. Now, G2, 2 more rounds, and you find yourself in a pretty good spot. And it's what we're counting for here. Heroic needing 4 rounds from this moment onwards. Now, they're starting off here with that Twitch, trying to take care of some basic utility. Also doing some scouting. Grenades coming around the corner. Default chems being taken out, but you want more of that. You cannot just be content with taking out 2 default chems with a Twitch drone, because Doki is hunting it. Has he heard it? Don't think he actually has. He's trying to fall back towards a bit of safety because there is pressure definitely rising from the rooftops.
Doki just dropping back there, doesn't want to take too heavy a fight into library for the time being. They're happy to delay here. The site is dining and kitchen, so they're not trying to keep them out of master and office specifically. They're just trying to burn as much time as they can here, G2. That is the big play right now. We saw them able to clear out the top floor pretty well when they last attacked here, so will they be able to hold on any better? They use the vertical nades of Citizen to clear Gorgona out of office. That's not going to be the case for them this time as Doki gets aggressive and finds himself an opener onto Uno.
The man has found the confidence here a bit too much, Mary, as he went for the fire into Sloth and all be shut down. But Uno taken care of is going to be a great pick, because that is going to be a lack of verticality suddenly on the board here for Heroic. We'll have to make do with other measures there, as Grizzly will find Alamau in a pretty good shot.
I think Alamau was owed that.
Yeah, he definitely did. Virtue will find a return into Benja, though, and that keeps us in that 3v3. Virtue will be finding himself in another spot. The grenade will be falling a bit too short, but the pre-fire comes through. Prano, with the trade, however, keeps it close.
Prano's had a couple of importantly timed kills, particularly so far in this game, and then let's not forget that smart move to plant deep as well. 2v2 here as Prano and Citizen are the last alive, looking to hold on for G2. Grizzly, Gorgona face off against them and looking to hunt them down. 5 and 4 kills across those 2 players, so going pretty well so far. I'm going to start opening up those verticals. 30 seconds left to go, and 1 more soft breach in the hands of Gorgona. You can see G2 just scrambling for position here, trying to relocate, trying to find any semblance of safety, and they have found what they think is that in West Main Stairs. Grizzly, he's going to push down. He's actually playing onto the position that he himself hid in, and there's not going to be anybody there. Prano holding a tight angle at this point. They're going to have to pass him. Will there be an opportunity to get the diffuser down? 1v2. I'm not sure if they're aware of Prano's location. This could be his moment. That's 1. Can he find the second? Just stay alive.
Yes,
Prano, he does. And that puts G2 onto 6 and 1 round away. Not quite from qualification, but from a 99% chance.
I have to say that was really smart from G2 there. Normally, Citizen is the one that is baiting his team players. This time, it was Citizen playing the bait, Tim, because he was spotted by Zofia opening up in the bathroom from above. They saw him go down. They knew he was down near the main stairs going towards the trench area. So what they did is they waited for him to come back up. In the meantime, G2 moved Prano close into the corner, told him to just sit still. For God's sake, sit still. Do not move at all. Citizen dies. I think it's clear. They move in. Prano gets the kill, and suddenly the time runs out. And now 1 round away from just a 1% failure chance of not making it.
Well, G2, they need one more round. Heroic need to start fighting here and now. I can put it as simply as this. Heroic, there is no more mistakes available for you. You've burnt them all. Every lifeline, every chance is now done. You win every round from here on out in regulation and you will go to the major. It is as simple as that. That's what they need to guarantee things. If they don't get it, they will not be qualifying. G2, they're going to be defending Bar and Gaming as what could be their final stand.
Now, if I'm correct at this, if G2 win this, all Secret need to do is win a single round to help G2 qualify for the major. If Heroic win another round now before G2 closes it out, it turns into 2 rounds that Secret need to win. So the pressure on BDS will be intense, and it's looking more and more unlikely that they will be able to make it. Benja, in the meantime, rotating in, still needing to find an impact on this game, truly. Has only had 1 or 2, well, okay moments, which have led to the rounds eventually for Heroic, but you want more than that. Pre-play C4 will be taken out. Definitely should be aware of the fact that this Vinca is currently underway. And as per usual, G2 will be trying to isolate and kill Benja before he has any impact.
It's now or never for Heroic. They need to get things going. They need to find themselves an opening kill. That is going to be an important factor here because you just feel that G2 right now are riding on a wave of confidence and momentum. They know they're on the right tracks and they just need to keep on rolling. Call Citizen the conductor because he has got them moving. It is now 5 versus 4 after a big entry onto Gorgona.
6-2 with G2 being a man up. 80 seconds left to go. Bar and Gaming is up. Heroic need to find his entrance. Now they have a bit of top security here, but it's not much. They haven't got the right part of the top 4. Smoke canisters are being tossed in to even delay more time onto the hands of Heroic. And of course, with these adrenaline surges active, they cannot go for it. Citizen will find another massive kill. Uno taken off the board. Now purely focusing on IGLing his boys towards an extra round, towards the opportunity to fight for overtime. 50 seconds, Tim. Sloth above in an opportunity to drop, but you don't want to go for that. Prano still hiding inside of the library there. Do they know about it? A flank comes through. Sloth will find Prano. The drone has spotted out Virtue as well. He might need to relocate, but at this point, he might just be wasting time.
That's it, 35 seconds left to go, and Heroic need to get moving here. 4 versus 3, and their entire stage comes down to this hap. It's down to these final moments. Can they make it happen? 3 versus 3 as Benja manages to find Citizen, and Virtue's still not in a fantastic position here. He's not vertically above the site. He is on their flank, however, and if they don't do anything about it, it could be a big moment. Shots are not fired there by the smoke of Alamo. He just takes his finger off the trigger. Virtue manages to find Sloth. Grizzly with a team kill. No, Grizzly, not like this. Dorky manages to find the final kill, and G2 look like from the depths of defeat, they have almost certainly secured themselves an unlikely spot at the Berlin Major.
And Doki realizes it. Look at that. One round is what they need. Secret needs to win 1 round and G2 go. And Doki has no clue. He's like, what's going on? We're making it. We're making it. He's absolutely mad about this outcome here, but not at the same time because G2 somehow made an incredible story happen.
Didn't they
Almost.
just? Didn't they just? I mean, coming into today, we knew that it was going to be a crazy play day. We knew that it might just be the biggest that EUL has ever seen. And is it shaping up like that? We're going all the way to the final game. It's going to be down to BDS to decide what happens here, Hap. But right now, G2 can at least rest easy knowing that they have done their bit. They have done everything they can, and they've done it with style.
Well, Fabian just stormed off, so I guess we have to go for a quick break before we go back to the analysts. So I hope to see you soon. Do not tune out.